And gentlemen, it looks like we're rehashing a bit of an issue that previous video that Saeki over here had made regarding the storytelling in both Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact. And the thing is, when it came to this video, one of the big conclusions that Saeki basically came up with, he basically said that Wuthering Waves had worse storytelling than Genshin, talked a lot about what was going on in Wuwa's story without really even knowing some of like the basic facts and the basic details. He said things like, Shorekeeper is somebody we have no idea or no clue what she does. He said things like, we have no idea what the Black Shores is. He said things like, wouldn't it be a crazy twist if Kartithia was the Thernotian's resonator and the Primarch Fenrico was right?
I think a good twist would be if Kartithia was actually the Thernotian's evil resonator, and she was just stringing the rover all along to fit her own agenda. And that Fenrico was actually in the right. It would flip the narrative entirely on its head and subvert everything you know about Renacida. The comically evil guy wearing the ominous mask was the righteous one all along. Now that would have been something.
And at the end of the day, right, a lot of these things that he was talking about either did happen in the story and he seemed surprised by them, or he just exhibited a lack of knowledge about something that you would know if you had just played throughout Wuthering Waves. And so I had some strongly worded critiques. That was like a big focus of the video, where if I'm going ahead and I'm listening to somebody talk about the game as an expert on the game and try to give pointed critiques, and they're getting basic facts about the story that pretty much anyone that didn't skip it would know, well, and the base conclusion that I made from his video was, he talked about Natlan and he talked about Genshin. My summary from this video was, if he had just taken out Wuwa from the critique, if he had just taken out Wuwa from this entire video, it would have been perfectly 100,000,000% fine. He's decided to make a response to this whole thing. We're gonna go ahead and react to it and see what he's talking about over here.
This video is a response to the feedback I received in my last critique of the storytelling of Genshin and Wuthering Waves. There are numerous times in my narrations where my understanding of the story was misinterpreted, vague, or incorrect. This is my attempt at rectifying some mistakes and clarifying my point.
I'm gonna be honest. We're about 15 seconds into it, and he's already basically like admitting fault. He's also saying that there was some fault on the reactor's end as well, maybe misinterpreting some of his points, but basically like a lack of clarity overall, either in the presentation or the reception. And you can tell that, you know, he sounds clearly a bit defensive in the response, but you can imagine, right? That video did get a lot of negative responses. A lot of downloads, I don't have unfortunately, and a lot of comments, right? Very high level comments, asking if you even played, issue with the Black Shores, you don't know anything else, you too hard. Yeah, a lot of negative responses. That's some of the context heading on into it, and of course, I don't believe my React video helped much at all either.
Let's get something out of the way first. Some people are under the impression that I skipped the story. This is not true, and I can even prove it. About a year ago, when Wuthering Waves first launched in May 2024, I was one of the first million users that joined on the global servers, since in the video I made at the time, I made sure to point it out. As you can see, the user ID in the video will match the one in most of the story footage shown.
I will be honest though, I don't really know what that proves. I'm just trying to make it what it is. Simply being one of the first million players that created an account, that doesn't mean you didn't skip the story. Again, I'm not just like trying to be like a dick or just like straight up like, you know, nitpick everything.
Simply put, this is my account. I captured the footage of me going through the story. These long source videos cannot exist if I skipped it, since, as you know, there's no way to replay the main campaign once it's been done.
True.
In Wuthering Waves, when you skip main story cutscenes, there is a dialogue window that displays a...
And this is a different account. As you can see, it's like, it has like, I do believe this is maybe like somebody's recording where somebody's like using a controller. This looks like it's an entirely different account, or he's simply doing the Cantarilla story quest and skipping over there. He's not actually in the Kachona cutscene. Guys, you can see right, or oh shit, I'll just play it. Oh yeah, that's the same UID. Again, I'm just like, yeah, it's the companion quest. No, that's I don't. Is it? Oh, okay. That is the companion quest. All right, never mind. Yeah, we can just cut that part out. Okay.
I am speaking completely honestly when I say this. I didn't even know this was a thing. I'll now re-explain what I understand of the facts on the backstory of...
Why is the UID blurred in this one? Wait, oh god. Let me point out one of the big pieces of critiques from his video. Saeki said in his video that we have no idea who Shorekeeper is. We have no idea what the Black Shores does. That was one of the big pieces of critiques for his video when he outwardly said that at the start of his Woo-Wah critique. And then a lot of people believed from the onset of that he was just skipping all of the story prior to 2.0. And so I guess the fact that he just said, I have all the footage from all of the quests, and then the one clip he shows from 1.3, which is the story that he's basically been accused of skipping. He has the UID blurred in the bottom right. Right? I'm not gonna sling any accusations out. I'm not gonna say that he's lying.
I'll now re-explain what I understand of the facts on the backstory of the Black Shores and Rover's origin. This ties to my personal gripe with them as a protagonist. The Black Shores is a research facility focused on eradicating the Lament. The Tethys system is an advanced supercomputer able to predict the movements of said Laments. Long ago, the rover was the one that established the Black Shores, with Shorekeeper helping manage the place. The duo has experienced the Lament destroy civilization and pledged to protect it at all costs. They eventually left for other important tasks, and the Tethys system became the governing body. The rover, having returned, now recognizing the role as the astral modulator, speaks to the Black Shores people as its leader, reiterating the purpose for this place's existence is to safeguard the people on this planet. Because, and I quote, "People are the heart of civilization. Broken systems can be fixed, but without people, civilization has no soul." From this, we can tell that the rover has a strong desire to combat the Lament and stop it from laying waste to this world. My question then is, why? Did the Lament kill one of their loved ones? Did it destroy their homeland? Is it just out of an unknown obligation?
Maybe because they don't want the world to end? Most people would generally say if there was like a cataclysmic world event coming that's threatening to wipe out civilization, then most people would be working together to stop it. And this isn't even, something loose like global warming, where it's like it's like the boiling frog, where like it's slowly getting warmer and warmer and warmer so people don't feel the impact. This is like...
What is our purpose? Why should you join us? And most importantly, why should you give us your money?
Did he present the same summary in the last video? No.
The rover's quest for self-actualization is too vague to have a goal to cling on to. Unlike Genshin's Traveler, whose mission is to reunite with a loved one, is relatable and tangible, finding one's purpose in the world can literally be about anything. I don't know what the rover's end goal is, so it's harder for me to relate to them as a protagonist.
Guess the take here is, it's hard to relate to the idea of trying to save the world unless, from overtly cataclysmic event that's, causing the loss of, millions of lives. And the only way that makes it relatable is if, someone you personally know is one of the million people that loses their life. If that's the take, that's his take. So I guess we'll move on from there.
Meanwhile, the Shorekeeper holds the rover in high regards, as they showed her that this world is worth protecting. She's relaying a deep bond with the rover, yet the player was not there to experience any of the build-up to the relationship. Remember what you taught me? Remember all the times we spent together? The audience did not see their bond flourish over time. Instead, it's told to you through dialogue. Therefore, it is my opinion that the writing for Shorekeeper in version 1.3 was shallow and carries little emotional weight. Regarding Abby, I will admit, after looking through some of the story again,
I get the UID's back, ladies and gentlemen. The point of this was that you didn't necessarily remember much about Shorekeeper, but somehow parts of your memory come back as you continue interacting with her, which culminates in you playing the piano with her at the end cutscene, where somehow, without any prior memory, you're able to perfectly play the tune because you've been able to recollect some of the memories that you've lost.
This video dives into a hypothetical explanation for Wuthering Waves. Let's be honest, troubles in the English voice work. It's clear that the lack of experience on some of the cast members has led to dips in quality on release. Like I mentioned in the video, it's very odd that Kuro would go with a whole new direction for one of their biggest budget games to less than satisfactory results. The keyword is hypothetical. It's an explanation for what could have happened, not a statement of fact. Me spreading misinformation would require me to know the terms, conditions, and restrictions of every voice actor's contracts and deliberately construct a false narrative, which is exactly what you did, by the way. If you think I had that knowledge 14 days ago when this video script was written, seek guidance. Let's just 1 second.
Should be questionable practices. Their success in monopolizing some of the most important aspects of a game's longevity and appeal should be a massive cause for concern.
Hypothetical, by the way.
Gacha community.
This is just a theory.
It's abundantly clear that Hoyo has made active attempts to sabotage Wuthering Waves' closed beta test and first impressions, restricting voice actors at the most inopportune times. Likely the direct cause for the lack of English dub in the
Guys, this is a hypothetical statement. Chill.
It would be very convenient if a contract from a signed Hoyoverse VA was leaked in the coming weeks. I think we'd find some shocking similarities with the previous.
It would be very, very convenient if someone's contract leak causing them to lose a job and have a terrible reputation in the voice acting industry. You know, it would be very cool if someone would do that, dude. Listen, he is a clown, okay? He is an absolute buffoon. He has, all in the same 6 minutes, insulted the current voice actors on Wuthering Waves, spread misinformation like crazy, and when he finally got caught in a corner, he just doubles down and just like, hey, it wasn't me. Like, I just...
Funny if it weren't so pathetic. No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.